welcome back to our channel, and we are now in Ireland, and this is the last video of our epic European adventure. On the last video we were in Scotland, and then we sailed across from Scotland on this it's a ferry, but it's basically a small cruise ship, so it's an interesting way to travel across the waters, and it brought us over to Dublin, which is where we start this next leg of our journey. Hey there, update, and so this is Ireland. We're now in Dublin, Ireland, and I am walking to go get a rental car. Word of advice, don't rent your car in Dublin, because there is no parking here, and I mean, like, parking garages are infrequent, and they are very expensive. So I made a mistake and rented a car a day earlier than I meant to, so now I'm kind of stuck with a rental car for the day. We leave tomorrow, so we got to put this rental car into a parking garage for the day, because our hotel does not have parking. So I guess make sure your hotel has parking, or wait and rent your car the day you're leaving Dublin, because we'll be leaving here tomorrow and driving north to Belfast. So this is the update for today. We are in Dublin, Ireland now. Yeah, so our hotel sent us to this parking garage outside this mall, which, I mean, it was a cool mall, but the mall was like 10-15 blocks away from my hotel, so not exactly convenient. But this is our hot rod for Ireland, and of course, when you're in Dublin, first thing you got to do is go to the Guinness brewery. This is the Guinness Brewery Storehouse, and it's where their tour and everything happens. So they had this really cool water display here, and I guess the whole point of it is that, as it says, Guinness is 95% water. So there you go. Pretty cool though, just stand here and watching this. And you can walk all the way around it and just catch it from other angles and just see how incredible this is. And then this is just up inside the brewery, where you get to walk through and see some of their ad campaigns over the years. And it says a woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle. But this is the storehouse, and this is all their ad campaigns over the years. And one little tip: when you come in at the very beginning, you're in line waiting for your tour to start, and they give you some beer tokens to have later on, and I'll show you some places where you get to taste those beers. But those guys can be smoothed into giving you an extra beer token if you're really nice to them. But several restaurants and bars and pubs throughout this whole place where you can get a perfect pint of Guinness. That is how Guinness should be poured. And then up here on the top floor is the observation room, and again, your perfect pour. It's beautiful. It's a work of art, is what it is. And then around the room on the glass there is all this information that tells you what you're looking at across the city of Dublin. So very interesting to just kind of sit here and read these and look out and kind of get a feel for what you want to do while you're in Dublin. And this is what the tower looks like that you're seated up inside of. So come up here for the experience of the Guinness, but also just for this incredible view of Dublin. And then once you leave, get on these buses. This is by far the best way to see everything. It'll just drive you around all of Dublin, and gives you a good idea, overview of what there is to do in the city. I mean, you could take the taxis, but they're more expensive, and you have to pay every time it takes you somewhere. Whereas this has an audio tour, and tells you what you're looking at, and you can hop on and off the bus. Like here is the Irish Whiskey Museum. We hopped off, went inside, had our whiskey tastings of Irish whiskeys, and then hopped back on the bus right out here and continued on our tour. Took us by this fragment of the old city walls, and then it of course takes us back around to the Guinness factory where you could get off there. Took us down to the Phoenix Park and across Hoppany Bridge. And over here in Hoppany Bridge, you can get off and go to the Temple Bar area. And this is where all the nightlife, restaurants and clubs and everything is. Come in here and have yourself a great lunch. And then we'll hop back on the bus and continue our tour of the various religious and historical sites of Dublin, Ireland. Now, if you watch my previous video there in Scotland, you'll hear me talk about the value of renting a car while you're traveling around, and the same holds true here for Ireland. And as you're cruising just from Dublin up to Belfast, which is only about 2 hours, you'll come across this incredible Irish pub, and stop in there for a pint and just an incredible lunch. And it's absolutely beautiful inside. If you're looking for a reasonably priced hotel in Belfast, you might want to check out this little place. Teddy slept great. And then we went over to the St. George's Market the next day. And even if you're not shopping for groceries, this is an incredible place just to go look at. But if you are shopping for groceries, they've got fresh seafood, fresh meats, fresh cheeses. They got pastries, and you can get plants and artwork. And then they've also got this little area for food where you can get this incredible breakfast bagel, or this guy's making crepes, and then this guy's making an incredible stacked breakfast sandwich. So come check this place out, St. George's Market. And then kind of a highlight for me, one of the main reasons why I wanted to come to Belfast was to see this. This is the shipyard where the RMS Titanic was made by Harland and Wolff between 1909 and 1912. And this is the actual area out in front where the Titanic was built. This walks you through a display of the building of the Titanic. And some of you may have seen Titanic museums across the country. There's one in like Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and there's one in Missouri, but this is not that. This celebrates those shipbuilders that made the Titanic. They're very proud of the maritime history of Belfast, and it does, of course, get into the catastrophe of its maiden voyage. But the beginning of this tour is all about the build process and those workers that not just on the Titanic, that built many ships here in the shipyard in Belfast. And I've been fascinated with the Titanic ever since I was a kid. My brother and I, long before the movie came out in the 90s, we got introduced to the Titanic during this movie, and then we just kind of deep dove into Titanic over the years. So for me, seeing where the Titanic was built was just an incredible experience that I did not want to miss. So what you're seeing here is a recreated walking tour, and this is an elevator ride up through the Titanic. So yeah, computer, generation of what it would be like to be inside the Titanic. Again, it's very well done museum. I'll kind of let you listen to the tour here for a second. Then, of course, it takes us up to the staircase, the famous staircase that we've seen from the movie, and around that beautiful atrium area, and up into the glass dome ceiling that we've seen from the movie, and up to the bridge where the captain foolishly or arrogantly, sailed his ship at full speed into an icy waters at night. And that's not all. That kind of brings us to the inside of the ship, the artifacts and recreations of the inside of the ship with these ghostly video images all around the room. It kind of describing what you're seeing, and then it takes us to this. This is an incredible artifact here. These are the binocular key boxes. This guy here was supposed to be the first officer on the ship. He had those keys with him, but got reassigned to a different ship like the week before, and accidentally kept those keys. And those keys would have unlocked the box for the binoculars that would have allowed those watchmen to be able to see out into the night and possibly see that iceberg before they struck it. And then it ends with this ghostly images of the ship as if you're sailing across, looking at it from top view as it rests at the bottom of the ocean. So beautiful and moving, but haunting tribute to all those passengers. So all that being said, if you are at all interested in maritime history or the Titanic or shipbuilding, come out here, see this museum where the Titanic was actually built right here in this shipyard. Now from there, we're going to completely change paces and bring you over to the Crumlin Road Jail, G-A-O-L, the Crumlin Road Jail. And of course, there's got to be a distillery. They put a distillery inside the Crumlin Road Jail, and so we came, of course, up here to have some tasty whiskeys and, of course, Irish whiskey, and then went over to the Crumlin Road Jail Visitor Center, where you get to see a tour of the Crumlin Road Jail.
Please come forward and enter the hanging cell.
And then back outside for some random military vehicles, but all in all, a very interesting museum to go see while you're here in Belfast. And since we have a car, we drove over here to the Giant's Ring, which is a henge monument there near Belfast. And it's unknown what the purpose of this was. I think maybe it was a meeting place. Possibly it was a memorial to the dead. But this dates back into the Neolithic period. Probably around 2700 BC. This is believed to be older than the Egyptian pyramids. There is a small tomb here, but they're really not sure about what else it all was.
This must be where they sacrificed virgins.
I mean, probably not that, Audrey, but it has been used for a variety of purposes over the years, and it is just really interesting while you're out here in Ireland to come out and see artifacts like this.
And we were here.
And then one more night and one more great meal before a drive across Ireland from Belfast to Galway. And I'll be honest, I don't recall anything terribly interesting about this drive, except once we arrived in Galway, this Powers Thatch Bar and Restaurant, they were doing a picking circle, I guess you'd call it, or what we would call it. And I guess they do this pretty frequently, so listen to this. And then the next day over into Galway for some shopping, and then of course stopping in there at M. Fitzgerald's for some more Irish beer, and we had also of course a perfect pint of Guinness as well. And then some more shopping before popping into O'Connell's, a well-known establishment here in Galway, and again we had locals in here playing live music. And since I haven't taken you to any castles on this video yet, this is the Auchnanur Castle in Galway. And this castle is actually from the O'Flaherty clan. It's built 15th century and was restored in the 1960s. And it's actually sitting along a small creek or river here that they would have used for docks to get supplies, and then also for a bit of a defensive measure. Now this family would have controlled this area to the west, the western district of Ireland, which is called the Connemara, and you can go up inside their castle and see how it would have been after now it's been restored, of course. Now if you're watching this, hopefully I've convinced you to rent a car, and you're going to travel now along the Wild Atlantic Way, and you could go by bus, but you would miss a lot of the freedom to be able to see attractions. And we're going to come here to the Cliffs of Moher, and this is a famous attraction. Don't rush it when you get here, as my little friends at the Cliffs of Moher will remind you. The Cliffs of Moher are about 9 miles long, but they range about 390 feet above sea level. And if these cliffs look familiar to you, and if you're a Harry Potter fan, that would be why, because the cave where one of the Horcruxes was in the Deathly Hallows was right here, and this is the rock formation that Harry and Dumbledore would have stood upon. And from there we're going to be going towards Killarney by way of the Gap of Dunloe and this incredibly beautiful sightseeing road. Lots of people are actually hiking this road, so be real careful as you're driving. The roads are narrow here, so watch for hikers and bikers, and try and make some room for oncoming cars. And also there's some horse carriages along this way. But this is a beautiful, beautiful sight of rugged Ireland, and this is exactly the Ireland that you have always dreamed that it would be. And continue along these winding roads. There are plenty of pull-offs for you to move off to the side so other cars can get past you, or the carriages or the bicyclists or whatever. But lots of places to pull over and take a look at the sights. Our little diesel car humming around there in the background. Now you want to make your way down along here, and you may have to trick your GPS and add a couple of locations of that screenshot from a few minutes ago. Add in the Torque waterfall, otherwise it may try and take you around straight to Killarney, but you're going to want to go here to the Torque waterfall and see this as well. These are all free. It's just this is what Ireland is. Now we spent the night in Killarney, and then from there we're going to go up to Blarney Castle. This is the Blarney Castle. You've heard of the Blarney Castle. Kiss the Blarney Stone for good luck and all that. This is it. So we're gonna go inside, get in a pretty long line to go up here to the very top. It's a little stone that's embedded way up there at the very top. So you get to go up through the castle. Like I said, it's a long line, but it's pretty interesting. They have a lot of information posts all around it, and people to talk to, but there's lots of good sights as you're looking around inside this tall castle. And you're going to make your way up to the very top. You'll get to see murder holes where they would dump hot tar on people, and see what would have been like latrine type thing, and then you're gonna kind of get to the top eventually, and this incredible view from the very, very top before you go over to the actual Blarney Stone, and you kind of hang out over this edge and lean out, and somebody helps you, they'll hold on to you, and you get to kiss the Blarney Stone from there. And then go back down inside the castle to the grounds where they've got this garden area, and they even have a garden of poisonous plants, and there's a couple places where you can stop and have a lunch or snack, and then just it was a beautiful day for us, and it was a really neat castle experience. And then from Killarney in the Blarney Castle, we are going to travel back up here to Dublin, which is where we're going to take our flight back to the United States. We've been gone now for almost 2 months, so we kind of splurged a little bit, and I got to say that's the best way to fly is the first class or business class. But go back and watch our videos from our kind of our misadventures on the Norwegian Epic, and then all across Europe and up to Scotland, and then finally Ireland. So if you're interested in those, please go back, check out our channel, and watch us again, because we have a lot more adventures coming up.